Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69. Imagine holding a small, shiny quarter in your hand and realizing it's not just a coin, but a story, a piece of history that connects you to the rugged mountains, the roaring rivers, and the pioneering spirit of the evergreen state, because today we are uncovering the secrets, hidden details, and collector's value behind the 2010 Washington State Quarter. A coin that might seem ordinary at first glance but carries layers of numismatic intrigue that can thrill any serious collector. The 2010 Washington State Quarter was part of the 50 State Quarters program, a revolutionary initiative launched by the U.S. Mint to celebrate America's rich history and culture, and by 2010, the program had already captivated millions of collectors nationwide, making each state quarter not just a piece of currency but a collectible piece of American heritage with its own story and regional pride. On the reverse, the Washington Quarter displays a breathtaking rendition of the state's iconic Space Needle rising against Mount Rainier, flanked by evergreen trees and flowing rivers, a design that reflects both the natural beauty and the modern innovation of Washington, and collectors praise the striking details, the layered relief, and the bold contrast between the foreground and background that brings the scene to life even on a small quarter-sized canvas. The obverse continues to honor George Washington, the first U.S. president, retaining the same iconic portrait used across the State Quarter series, sculpted by John Flanagan, whose artistry ensures a clean, recognizable, and timeless look, making these quarters instantly familiar to collectors and the public alike, while the careful detailing provides a canvas for examining strike quality, die states, and potential errors. The 2010 Washington Quarter was minted in both Denver, D., and Philadelphia, P., and the mint mark plays a crucial role in collector valuation, with minor production variations, striking differences, and subtle die changes making one mint's output occasionally more desirable in certain grades or for registry collection purposes, especially for coins with pristine surfaces or full original luster. Collectors also pay special attention to errors and varieties, and while the 2010 Washington Quarter is not traditionally considered a rare coin, it has several known collectible issues including double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and weak strikes, all of which can turn a seemingly ordinary circulated quarter into a highly desirable collectible, particularly for those specializing in modern state quarters. High-grade examples, especially those in gem uncirculated condition, MS65 and above, are extremely sought after, because even a modern quarter can achieve impressive value when struck sharply, fully retaining its original luster, free from bag marks, scratches, or surface abrasions, and collectors know that perfect examples of these 2010 Washington Quarters are becoming increasingly hard to find as time passes. Special attention is also given to proof versions of the 2010 Washington State Quarter, minted at San Francisco, S., with brilliant mirror-like surfaces, frosted devices, and deeply reflective fields, which are highly coveted among numismatists due to their superior finish, precise strikes, and limited production compared to circulation coins, offering an entirely different level of collectible appeal. Now, when we examine the market, even modern quarters can command serious attention when condition, errors, or rarity combine, and for the 2010 Washington Quarter, verified auction and market records show remarkable sales, with gem uncirculated MS67 Denver and Philadelphia strikes reaching between $100 and $250 depending on eye appeal, while select proof 2010 S quarters with exceptional cameo contrast have been verified at auction for over $500, and coins displaying significant die varieties. Repunched mint marks, or die cracks have occasionally surpassed $1,000 when certified by major grading services, proving that even a quarter issued just over a decade ago can be a serious investment for collectors. So the next time you sift through pocket change, inherited coin rolls, or your personal collection, remember that the 2010 Washington State Quarter is far more than just a quarter. It is a representation of Washington's natural beauty, a piece of the U.S. Mint's celebrated State Quarters program, a collectible modern rarity in high grade or with error varieties, and in the right condition, it can transform from everyday currency into a valuable, highly sought-after piece of American numismatic history. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and felt that sudden thrill, as if it's quietly whispering stories from decades of American history, stories of landscapes, pioneers, and the spirit of innovation, because today we are diving deep into one of the most intriguing modern quarters in the United States, the 2013 Washington State Quarter, a coin that combines artistry, precision, and subtle collectible rarities that even seasoned collectors can overlook. The 2013 Washington Quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008 with additional years for remaining states and territories, and by 2013, collectors had developed a keen eye for quality, errors, and minting variations, making each state quarter not just a piece of currency but a collectible artifact that reflects the culture, geography, and pride of Washington state. On the reverse, the design celebrates the state's rich natural beauty, featuring the majestic Mount Rainier in the background, evergreen trees in the foreground, and the Space Needle prominently rising, symbolizing Washington's blend of wilderness and innovation, and collectors particularly admire the layered relief, sharp details, and contrast between foreground and background that make this design pop under close examination. The obverse continues to honor George Washington, retaining the classic John Flanagan portrait that has graced quarters for decades, with crisp lines, strong facial features, and bold lettering, making high-grade examples of the 2013 issue a joy to examine for strike quality, surface integrity, and overall eye appeal. The 2013 Washington Quarter was struck at the Denver, D, and Philadelphia, P, mints, and the mint mark plays an important role in collector valuation, because subtle differences in die states, strike quality, and surface finish can make one mint's output slightly more desirable than the other, particularly when examining uncirculated or high-grade specimens with full original luster. Collectors also hunt for varieties and errors, and while the 2013 Washington Quarter is a modern coin, it is not without its collectible features, including double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, planchet imperfections, and weak or over-polished strikes, all of which elevate the coin from ordinary circulation into a sought-after collectible for error specialists and registry set collectors. High-grade examples in mint state condition, especially MS65 or higher, are in strong demand, because even a coin minted less than a decade ago can command attention when it exhibits full original brilliance, sharp relief, and no contact marks, making it a prime candidate for collectors looking to complete a pristine modern Washington set. Proof versions, struck at the San Francisco S Mint, are especially coveted, featuring deeply mirrored fields and frosted devices, with exceptional cameo contrast that highlights every element of the design, and these coins are highly desirable for collectors of modern proof sets and those seeking registry-quality modern quarters. Now comes the part every collector waits for, the real-world value and verified auction records, because while most circulated 2013 Washington quarters remain near face value, the highest-grade certified coins and notable error varieties have achieved impressive results, with gem MS67 Denver and Philadelphia strikes reaching up to $50 at auction. Proof 2013 S quarters with deep cameo finishing selling for over $100, and select double die or repunched mint mark varieties occasionally commanding several $100s depending on rarity and eye appeal, proving that even a modern quarter can hold collectible excitement and investment potential. So whether you are searching through pocket change, inherited rolls, coin albums, or specialized collections, remember that the 2013 Washington State Quarter is far more than a small piece of currency. It is a representation of Washington's natural beauty, innovation, and history, a modern collectible with subtle errors and high-grade potential, and in the right condition or with a rare variety, it can transform from everyday change into a valuable numismatic treasure for collectors across the United States. Have you ever picked up a coin from your pocket or a dusty jar and felt a strange thrill, as if that small piece of metal were holding secrets of American history, geography, and artistry waiting to be discovered? Because today we are diving into the 2014 Washington State Quarter, a coin that appears ordinary at first glance but holds layers of collectible intrigue, design brilliance, and subtle rarities that every serious collector should know about. The 2014 Washington State Quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, which captured the hearts of collectors from 1999 to 2008 and continued into later years for remaining states, turning simple coins into miniature canvases of American pride, culture, and natural beauty. And the 2014 issue remains a favorite for collectors due to its sharp details, strong strike quality, and modern numismatic significance. On the reverse, the coin showcases the stunning landscape of Mount Rainier in the background, evergreen trees lining the foreground, and the iconic Space Needle rising prominently, perfectly representing Washington's combination of wilderness and urban innovation, and collectors admire how the layered relief, precise engraving, and contrast between foreground and background give this quarter a sense of depth and realism rarely seen in modern coins. The obverse continues to feature George Washington, using John Flanagan iconic portrait, with sharp features, crisp lettering, and clear separation between devices and fields, making high-grade examples especially valuable for collectors who prioritize strike quality, original luster, and minimal surface contact or bag marks. The 2014 Washington quarter was minted at both Denver, D, and Philadelphia, P, and the mint mark plays a crucial role in determining collector value, because subtle differences in die states, striking pressure, and finish can make one mint's output slightly more desirable than the other, especially in high-grade uncirculated examples. With full red or brilliant mint luster, collectors also hunt for error coins and varieties in the 2014 Washington quarter, and while this is a modern issue, it is not without collectible intrigue, including double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and weak strikes, all of which transform a seemingly ordinary quarter into a highly sought-after piece for error enthusiasts and registry collectors alike. High-grade uncirculated examples, particularly MS-65 and above, are in strong demand. Because even a modern quarter can achieve notable value when it retains full original brilliance, sharp relief, and clean fields, and these qualities are increasingly rare as coins circulate and suffer from minor handling, scratches, or loss of luster. Proof versions struck at the San Francisco S. Mint are particularly prized, with deeply mirrored fields, frosted devices, and exceptional cameo contrast that makes every design element pop, and these coins are sought after by collectors aiming to complete registry sets or acquire high-quality modern proof quarters. Now comes the moment every serious collector waits for: verified auction and market values, because while most circulated 2014 Washington quarters remain near face value, certified high-grade examples and notable error varieties have achieved impressive results, with gem MS-67 Denver and Philadelphia strike selling between $50 and $100 at auction, proof 2014 S quarters with deep cameo finishing exceeding $150. And select repunched mint mark or die variety examples occasionally reaching over $500, demonstrating that even a modern quarter can carry serious collectible and investment potential. So whether you are examining coins from your pocket change, inherited rolls, coin albums, or specialized collections, remember that the 2014 Washington State quarter is far more than everyday currency. It represents the natural beauty, innovation, and history of Washington, offers collectible varieties and high-grade potential, and in the right condition or with a rare error, it can transform from a common quarter into a highly desirable and valuable piece of modern American numismatic history. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and felt a sudden thrill, as if that small, unassuming piece of metal carries a hidden story from America's past, a story waiting to be uncovered? Because today we are diving deep into the 2015 Washington State quarter, a coin that appears ordinary in your pocket but holds layers of numismatic intrigue, subtle errors, and collectible value that serious collectors across the country are hunting for. The 2015 Washington State quarter is part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, a revolutionary initiative launched to celebrate America's history, culture, and geography, and by 2015, collectors had become highly attuned to subtle differences in minting, finish, and die varieties, turning each state quarter into a miniature work of art and a collectible treasure beyond its face value. The reverse design features the iconic Mount Rainier in the background, evergreen trees in the foreground, and the Space Needle rising prominently, symbolizing the unique combination of natural beauty and urban innovation that defines Washington State, and collectors appreciate the striking relief, crisp detail, and layered composition that makes this quarter visually distinct and satisfying to examine under magnification. On the obverse, George Washington's iconic portrait, sculpted by John Flanagan, continues to dominate, with sharp facial features, crisp lettering, and well-defined devices, making high-grade examples especially sought after for collectors who value strike quality, surface integrity, and original mint luster. The 2015 Washington quarter was struck at both the Denver, D, and Philadelphia, P, mints, and the mint mark plays a significant role in collector evaluation, as subtle differences in striking, die states, and surface finish can affect desirability, particularly when analyzing uncirculated or near-pristine examples that retain full mint brilliance. Collectors also focus on error coins and notable varieties, and while the 2015 Washington quarter is a modern issue, it is not without collectible intrigue, including repunched mint marks, double dies, die cracks, and weak strikes, all of which elevate a seemingly ordinary quarter into a sought-after collectible that draws interest from error specialists and registry collectors alike. High-grade uncirculated examples, especially MS65 and above, are in strong demand, because even a modern quarter can carry premium value when it exhibits full original brilliance, sharp detail, and clean, unspoiled fields, and such coins are increasingly rare as more examples enter circulation and sustain wear or handling marks. Proof coins struck at the San Francisco S Mint are particularly prized, featuring deeply mirrored fields, frosted devices, and exceptional cameo contrast that enhances the coin's design. And these proof examples are highly desirable for collectors completing registry sets or seeking top-tier modern quarters with flawless eye appeal. Now comes the moment every collector waits for, the verified auction and market prices. While most circulated 2015 Washington quarters remain near face value, certified high-grade examples and notable error varieties have commanded impressive results, with gem MS67 Denver and Philadelphia strikes reaching between $50 and $100 at auction. Proof 2015 S quarters with deep cameo finishing selling for over $150, and select repunched mint mark or die variety examples occasionally surpassing $500, proving that even modern quarters can hold significant collectible and investment potential. So whether you are sorting through loose coins, inherited rolls, albums, or specialized collections, remember that the 2015 Washington State quarter is far more than just pocket change. It represents the natural beauty and innovation of Washington, offers subtle errors and high-grade potential, and in the right condition or with a rare variety, it can transform from an everyday quarter into a highly desirable, collectible piece of modern American numismatic history. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and felt that electric thrill, as if it were whispering secrets from the past, calling you to uncover a story that spans history, nature, and artistry? Because today we are exploring the 2016 Washington State quarter, a modern coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but holds layers of collectible intrigue, subtle varieties, and numismatic value that serious collectors cannot afford to ignore. The 2016 Washington State quarter is part of the celebrated 50 State Quarters program, an initiative that transformed American coins into miniature works of art, highlighting each state's history, culture, and geography. And by 2016, collectors had developed an expert eye for subtle differences in strike quality, mint marks, and design details, making every Washington quarter from this year a potential treasure in the right hands. The reverse design features the iconic Mount Rainier in the background, with evergreen trees lining the foreground, and the Space Needle rising proudly, perfectly capturing the spirit of Washington's natural beauty and urban innovation. And collectors appreciate the layered relief, intricate engraving, and sharp contrast that brings the scene to life even on a small quarter-sized canvas. On the obverse, George Washington's classic portrait, sculpted by John Flanagan, continues to dominate, with well-defined facial features, crisp lettering, and clear separation between devices and fields, making high-grade examples especially desirable for collectors who prioritize strike quality, surface preservation, and original mint luster. The 2016 Washington quarter was struck at both the Denver, D, and Philadelphia, P, mints, and the mint mark plays a crucial role in valuation, because slight differences in die states, striking pressure, and surface finish can make one mint's output more collectible than the other, especially in uncirculated or near-perfect examples that retain full brilliance. Collectors also focus on error coins and varieties, and while the 2016 Washington quarter is a modern issue, it still offers exciting collectible features, including repunched mint marks, double dies, die cracks, and weak strikes, all of which can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collectible for error enthusiasts and registry set collectors. high-grade uncirculated examples, particularly MS65 and above, are in strong demand, because even modern quarters can carry premium value when they retain full brilliance, sharp detail, and flawless fields, and such coins become increasingly rare as circulation wears down surfaces and diminishes original mint quality. Proof coins, struck at the San Francisco Mint, are highly prized for their deeply mirrored fields, frosted devices, and exceptional cameo contrast that makes every design element pop. And these proof examples are especially sought after by collectors completing modern registry sets or seeking top-tier modern quarters. Now comes the moment every collector waits for: verified auction and market values. While most circulated 2016 Washington quarters remain near face value, certified high-grade examples and notable error varieties have achieved impressive results, with gem MS67 Denver and Philadelphia strikes reaching $50 to $100 at auction. Proof 2016 quarters with deep cameo finishes selling for over $150, and select repunched mint mark or die variety coins occasionally surpassing $500. Proving that even modern quarters can carry serious collectible and investment potential. So whether you are examining coins from your pocket change, inherited rolls, albums, or specialized collections, remember that the 2016 Washington State Quarter is far more than a simple quarter. It represents Washington's natural beauty, history, and innovation, offers collectible errors and high-grade potential, and in the right condition or with a rare variety, it can transform from everyday currency into a highly desirable, collectible piece of modern American numismatic history.